I love your idea, Ansie. Shall we do that? We just go. So, 2010, Roy Rose.
I just loved every, at that point, I can't remember how many days that we would come into the office and we would just have the greatest fellowship, just praying and saying, okay, God, now what? There seemed to be no money to do anything. And I can't remember if one of the first events was the chained book. That was I know it was winter. 2011 was it? But where Joanne Shetler and Amy West came out, and this team, Marilise had put together this drama team that did the most fantastic drama of, it was called The Chain Book. Well, I wish we had a video that you could all see of that incredible drama that they did. I think there were just about 6 people on the team, and Impo was one of them, which is, and it was just an amazing. Unfortunately, because we were so young in the mission, we didn't have a great variety of contacts but we did go down to Cape Town and had another, and was it just 2 presentations? 3? 4 productions. But that was really an amazing drama that was beautifully done, of the story of the Belanga people in the Philippines and the word being brought to them for the first time. And for any of you who haven't read the book, And the Word Came with Power, it's a wonderful story. So I'd encourage you. I know Elspeth's got a copy.
We may have a copy or 2 in the office, I think.
Okay. I'd encourage you to read that. It's a wonderful story. What comes to your mind, Lovey?
What comes to my mind is 11 years ago in Greyton.
Oh.
You know, we sat down with Stephen and Derek Vivas, Karen, Rose and I, and in a sense, because Derek had said to us before we went back to Canada, would you be willing to be seconded to Wicked South Africa? And so we got together, and I remember Derek's devotion. It was from Esther, for such a time as this. And when I look at Karen and what's happening, definitely she came in at the right time. God had prepared the way. And the one thing I loved about Wicked South Africa, we had a clean slate. It was funny, because how many times we changed our logo? So what? Let's change the logo. Well, let's do this. Let's do that. You know, it didn't matter what. We could do it. And I think that's what God gave us, that absolute freedom to move as He was working. And that's why, you know, we've seen incredible growth and haven't been encumbered with anything but being able to move as God has led. And, you know, our times were spent, because Rose says we had nothing. We didn't even have a proper computer that worked. And
you had pens though. Yeah. What could they write?
But so we spent our time praying and saying, Lord, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
And that was the whole ethos of when we got together in the office. So it was a wonderful beginning, and look what God has done.
Mm-hmm. I just love the fact, Karen, of the pictures God gives you, and the ideas. You know, you just always had amazing ideas of for you and Sebastian together, your vision of what could be done. It was very impressive.
Remember the kites?
Yes.
The picture of the kites. Guess who was the kite?
Yeah.
Guess who was the rope? The earth. I was the kite. Karen was the earth on the string, yeah. Yeah, good.
So the kite doesn't get caught in the trees.
Yeah, didn't fly away.
Do you, Karen, Sebastian, do you have any memories you want to share from?
Oh, many. But anyway, go for it, Karen. One was, have you ever heard about the SARC? SARC. You remember Roy and Rose, the SARC meetings? The SARC stands for SARC, the Southern Africa Regional Committee.
Yeah.
That was sort of a predecessor of the BTC collaborative that we have now. And those were wonderful. It was we invited everybody. Come. Wycliffe Associates came. Wycliffe Global Alliance came from Nairobi. SIL came. Others came. So it was a very interesting meetings, but absolutely nothing happened. After 2 days of meeting, anything I could remember was the nice restaurant meal at the end. But it was one of those meetings, those exercises in futility. I don't know, for some reason it was not the time. So SARC, every year we met, every 6 months even, they came, they flew in and spent money to come, but nothing happened, And anyway, so it was not the time yet. It was one of those. And then one of these SARC meetings, I will not give any details. Things was some of the partners came in, and they just wanted to take over. From now on, we think you should become part of us. We will run this operation for you. And Derek was there, Derek Fivers, and he said, "No, this is not going to happen." Anyway, so very, very interesting times we had. But anyway, so the SAR came to nothing, but later on other things happened instead. So.
Sure.
I can remember that come to Macedonia and help us.
Yeah.
And was that one of the first things from Angola? Was it?
Yes.
Saying,
Yeah.
come and help us. And it was such a, again, for such a time.
Go on to 2011,
Yo, there's so many memories. I remember starting to work at Wycliffe. I think I also came for an interview, but then there was Annelise, and there was I think Roy was there as well, and then Roland, and and I had no idea that I was going to spend a couple of years there. After that, Karen was there, and it was great. I remember just that first meeting of just how I came in, and it was very welcoming, such a welcoming environment, and everyone was so kind. I can't remember if that was the first time meeting Karen. No, not actually. I'd met her first at church, but didn't have quite an encounter with her. But I just remember how welcoming it was, just the environment just the smiles and how welcoming everybody was, and how, not intimidating most interviews are. So it was just, I remember just walking to the office, it was just a welcoming environment. And I know that you could sense it, it was an environment created by lots of people praying. That makes a difference when you walk into an environment like that, and wonderful people and kind people, and you sort of could sense that when you walk into the office. So I'd like to thank you, Karen, your leadership, and everybody else who helped to create that environment, because you do notice it and you do feel it. So that was special. And I remember after going forward all those years, how Karen has always been so encouraging. Even when things I was really messing up a lot. And Annelise was a tough boss, She was a tough boss, really tough boss. But she prepared me well.
She trained you well.
Very well, very, very well. And how, Karen would stand on the side, to cheer, and she was such a great cheerleader, and just always so encouraging, and believing the best, that, you're going to make it, it's going to be okay, and everything, and the subsequent changes that happened year after year after year after year, and how she's always been part of the process, but also just a really good cheerleader. You just need someone cheering on. Yes, we are getting there. So those are great memories. Those are great memories. So thank you for that.
Now, I met Sebastian first. I think I wrote to some Wycliffe email address, and I think it somehow got to you. And I met Sebastian in 2010 at a restaurant there by Cara Glen, but it was different then. But I remember that. And then I went to Uganda, and then I came back, and then I met the two of you in the office. That I remember. And you asked me, am I still interested? And I said yes, and your faces were very happy. And you told me I was the first person in 7 years to join the organization. But yeah, and then I lived in Pretoria, and I came in, I think, once or twice a week or something like that. And we did our first Connect 2012. Remember the Meyers, Dirk and Sandy Meyer, and it was Helen Jean's camp just arrived, I think, for that. And I basically met everyone there. And I shared a room with Linda, and I think that's a friendship that started there that continued. 2012.
Such a special connect.
It was a very special connect with the nuns, and and Ken and Corinne was also there. And Sebastian did the trip to Angola, that you drove through Namibia drove all the way to Angola. I remember.
7,000
Yeah.
But that's a time when Linda Jordan also
Yeah.
came. And Linda's American Wycliffe was seconded to Wycliffe South Africa. And that was sort of a novelty because she was seconded from Wycliffe USA to Wycliffe South Africa. Normally you're seconded to SRL somewhere. So to be seconded to Wycliffe South Africa to do survey, people's eyebrows were, what is this? Well, this is a strange thing. But anyway, she did a lot of the survey and opening up Southern Africa. She did surveys in Zambia, in Namibia, but especially in Angola. She basically, for the first time, we had a picture of what was before us, in terms of the needs. And she's still working on those things. She's still processing them. She's in Dallas right now at the survey office, actually working on all the Angola surveys, so really pioneering work she did. I think even in South Africa, did she do some surveys here? Which ones did she go with you to?
With
with Lindsay, yeah. Kilubedu and Ndebele, Northern Ndebele, that's right. She did that.
They did Amapak as well.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't Lucy go as well on one of those?
She did.
Yeah. So
And orality, that was also a new thing.
that was also a new thing, yeah. Who did the course at the Baptist at BIMS at the Baptist? Was Rose was there? That one with Ferguson, Tom Ferguson.
I did it in Ampula.
You did it later, yeah. I think Ken Brown was with us as well.
Yeah.
That for me was a life-changing experience. That week, really learning how to do oral presentation, and that was really was excellent.
I'll never forget how we went through the story of Jesus. And there were about 22 of us in that group. And the last day, we just went from one to the other telling their stories. I don't know if you remember that, Sebastian. And I think at the end of it, I know Ken Brown had the section of the crucifixion. And I think we were just about all in tears. It was such an amazing experience. And I couldn't believe that everybody just told their story with no hesitation. And it just went through the life of Jesus. And I thought, wow, this is powerful. It is so powerful. It was an amazing experience, storytelling.
The Wycliffe Associates built the house in Angola. That was. I remember I was in Brazil in 2013, and I attended the SIL Brazil's conference, and this whole concept of Wycliffe doing work for ourselves type of thing was very strange for them. They, it was very strange for them.